It's election year. That means politicians will be working hard, taking selfies with babies, shaking hundreds of hands in shopping malls, and visiting places they usually don't attend to try and get votes, like churches. Politicians come out to court voters, throwing out policies and promises like a giant New Zealand lolly scramble. When we moved from Samoa to New Zealand in 1981, voting was really important for my parents because we could have our say and participate as citizens of this beautiful country. Today, there's over 380,000 Pasifika people in New Zealand, about 8% of the population. The Pacific vote is really powerful for any election. Whichever party can secure and win the bulk of the Pacific vote has a good chance to win the election. In the 2020 election, Labour absolutely smashed it, winning 46 out of the total 72 electorate seats around the country. In that election, 11 MPs of Pacific descent were voted in, the biggest number yet. Also in that election, the 10 electorates with the biggest winning margins were all won by Labour candidates. What was really crazy was that nearly all of these electorates in the top 10 have massive Pasifika populations: Mangere, Otauhu, Manurewa, Christchurch East, Porirua and Kelston. See, that shows how important the Pacific vote is. Pacific people have traditionally been strong supporters of Labour over the years. Pacific migrants in the 50s and 60s and 70s, they found strength and support in the Labour Party, who stood for workers' rights and the working class. David Longi was a legend when we moved to Mangere in South Auckland. He stood for a party that was fighting for poorer families like us. I remember asking my mum who to vote for when I turned 18, and she told me very clearly, we only vote Labour. But over the last few elections, I've asked myself this question: is this still the same Labour Party of old? As a Bible-believing Christian, I look at some of the policies and ideologies that this current Labour Party has, and I believe they go completely against a Christian and biblical worldview. New Zealand today is essentially a post-Christian secular society. But Pacific people are still heavily churched and very religious, with nearly 70% of Pacific people professing to be Christians. But under this government, we've seen stronger socialist ideologies. They've passed one of the most liberal abortion laws in the world. They've legalized euthanasia or assisted suicide. They've passed controversial conversion therapy laws. They've tried to push these munted-as hate speech laws. And they've tried to centralize water, education, and health, all to make a bigger government. Man, it's scary. I strongly argue that this is not the same Labour Party of old. This Labour seems more captured by ideology over true innovation, personality over good policies, and control and censorship over courageous conversations. Maybe catering to the cultural elite with their degrees and chai lattes has taken over, truly supporting working class people and families. In the last election, my mother-in-law, a faithful Labour supporter for over 60 years, for the first time didn't vote for Labour because her values were no longer represented by the party. But when I look at the National Party and others on the right, I'm not that inspired as well, to be honest. Do they have what it takes to win Pacific votes? I'm not sure. Do they truly understand the values, issues, and realities that are important to Pacific people? I hope so. Will Pacific people vote for them? Who knows? In the end, my urgent plea to my Pasifika people is to think more about your vote. Don't just vote based on history or because what your parents or your pastor has told you. And please don't just vote for the brown person in the election. Please think, consider, and pray about your vote carefully in this election. Why? Well, one reason is this. When we look at where our Pacific people are at, with all the Pacific MPs in power, all the millions of dollars that's come into our communities, and all the years that we've had a chance to establish ourselves here in Aotearoa, our statistics and numbers overall are still not good. High unemployment rates, low home ownership rates, more Pacific people living in overcrowding, homelessness, and social housing, high numbers on welfare, Pacific people overrepresented in prison, gangs, and domestic violence. Our young people not achieving as well in schools as they could be. Of course, the story is not completely bad. Man, I get that. There's heaps of great stories and progress for our people here in New Zealand. That's why your vote is crucial, to make sure we have more good stories and more good outcomes, and to make sure that we have a government that supports all New Zealanders, one that doesn't interfere too much with our daily lives, and creates an environment where all New Zealanders can thrive, including my own precious Pasifika people. I'm Ronji Tanielu, community worker for the Common Room. For more videos like this, subscribe to commonroomnz.com.